welcome to this week's edition of the Football Fan Show podcast. I'm Danny, joined by Callum this week. We are chatting about managerial shenanigans and merry-go-rounds at Chelsea, Leicester City, and I think we'll mention Reading and Paul Ince as well. Plus, the 3 p.m. football blackout. Is it going to continue? Apparently not. We discussed more the cons of it than the pros, because there really isn't that many. We discuss its impact on football attendances, potential impact on football attendances. Plus, we look at Burnley's promotion from the Championship, and we have our first EFL relegation of the season. Hi Forest Green, how you doing? We're going to kick it off though by chatting about the first team promoted to the Premier League this season, and that is Burnley. Yeah, so Burnley promoted champion. Not the champions yet, but almost there. And it's led to speculation that Vincent Kompany might leave Burnley to become the next manager of Comedy Tottenham Hotspurs. He's denied this, of course, because no one worth it with half a brain would go for that job. He's, of course, eyeing to be the next Manchester City boss after Pep Guardiola leaves, presumably. But yeah, a strange. Just why? Just let him manage Burnley next season in the Premier League. Let's see what happens and see what he can do. Yeah. Because I doubt they'll play the way that they have done this season and stay up.
That's it. Like the two, I'd say they play well and attacking, and they're
too
overwhelmed
expansive.
Every team.
Yeah, that's
but
great
then
in the Championship.
When you go to the Premier League, only an idiot comes to the Premier League and goes, "Yeah, we're still going to play the same way." When every other team is better than you.
Hi, Scott Parker.
Yeah. So Vince Kompany would be an idiot if he did that. But the fact of the matter is, like, what happens is they get rid of a load of players and they bring in like 20 players. Nottingham Forest, for example.
Oh yeah. And Nottingham Forest are only just above the precipice of relegation. Which is
Forest are they're 18th, aren't they?
Yeah.
Goal difference. Yeah, goal
and
difference. Everton, yeah.
Standing by their manager, of course, Steve Cooper, which is very, very rare nowadays. Let's talk about managerial departures. Which one do we want to tackle first? Graham Potter, Brendan Rodgers.
Well, I was just gonna. We'll do Chelsea because I was just going to talk about Chelsea. I was just going to say, depending on results, how results go, and you could look for their fixtures and think how many points they're going to get. They could well be dragged into a relegation battle. I think they could be. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. Chances are they've probably already got enough points, and they'll.
Yeah.
But hang on. But look, if you look at the league table, right, they are 11th on 39 points. The teams below them who've not played as many games as them, they're only what's that?
They're 11. They're 12 points above the relegation zone. I'm sure
12,
they're safe.
8.
There's only.
Look at the fixtures they've got.
7 games left. So that's what's 7 times 3.
But think it right. Look at the right. They've got Man United is their next Premier League. Well, no, it was meant to be, but it got postponed. They've got Brentford, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Forest, City, Newcastle, and Man United in there somewhere. Which team? Like, how many points could you realistically? I'm speaking realistically. Think they're gonna get from them?
Well, there's 21 points left to play for. So,
yeah. But look at the teams they're playing against.
Assuming that you win. So if Nottingham Forest and Everton went on an unbelievable tear of all these wins, and then Chelsea, it's unrealistic. But then, yeah, they could. But I doubt that's going to happen.
That's it. Well, no, that's what I said. It's a possibility. I'm not saying it's guaranteed.
I mean, I'd love it to happen because it'd be freaking hilarious.
Hilarious.
But hold on, if he relegated Chelsea at the expense of Everton staying in the Premier League, he would then have the excuse of, well, I did say I was going to keep Everton in the Premier League. I did my job.
Smooth, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Special Agent Lampard. Just like Special Agent Rafa was sent there to relegate them, Special Agent Lampard has been sent there.
Is the hero? Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, speaking of Everton, we'll go to Dele Alli's injury in a bit. But Chelsea, Frank Lampard replacing Graham Potter. Apparently, James Corden giving Todd Boehly advice saying, yeah, you need to... So there's one of two things that crossed my mind. Either Todd Boehly's an idiot for allegedly going to James Corden for footballing advice, or James Corden is the smartest man in the world, because if you remember, James Corden is a West Ham fan. He doesn't give a shit about Chelsea.
Yeah, like, don't West Ham and Chelsea... Well, West Ham and I hate Chelsea, so why would you go to a West Ham fan? Like,
exactly.
Why would you go to James Corden for footballing advice? Like, Todd Boehly, you are a bumbling idiot. You have not managed in European sport ever. And he makes himself managing director of this new club in England, Chelsea. Already a massive responsibility. He doesn't know a thing about it. Gets rid of all the football people, people with football knowledge. Consider himself, master, of his dominion. And goes to James Corden for advice. Why would you go? James Corden be the last person you'd go to for footballing advice. What does he know?
Maybe it was it was an episode of Carpool Karaoke with Todd Boehly.
No, I've got more football knowledge than in my left bottle sack than James Corden's got.
Hey, maybe Todd Boehly played Football Manager once and won the Champions League with Chelsea and thinking, I could do that for real.
That's real. Amazing. Like, you know what? If he's gone off that, he's better off coming to you for advice.
I mean, I would make a great director of football. I would make a great director.
You'd make a good kit guy.
No, I'd be like Nathan Shelley from Ted Lasso, the underappreciated person that then leaves to manage their rivals because I am that damn good. Chelsea would be great under.
You're that damn good. Go manage the rivals just to throw it in the face, and laugh at them.
I would totally manage Fulham.
You're that cynical, aren't you? You would turn like that on them, wouldn't you? That's the kind of person you are.
Oh, absolutely. If they were to be foolish enough to get rid of me, I would.
Right.
I would absolutely
do
it.
Revenge, that's what it is.
Yes. At last, we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last, we will have revenge. Star Wars.
I thought you were gonna go like, do it. Do Full on Emperor. Do it.
Yes. Relegate them. Do it. I will. Calm down. I will relegate Chelsea. Big fat Frank is in. He's not going to do well. It's a ridiculous appointment because he wasn't good enough for them 2 years ago. Arguably, I thought it was a harsh sacking then, but a terrible appointment now. But it does prove the theory that there's only one place after Everton, and the only way is truly up. Think about it. Frank Lampard went to Chelsea. Carlo Ancelotti went to Real Madrid. The only way is... And Rafa Benitez got a job at Sky Sports. The only way is up after Everton. The only way is up. You get a better job once you get sacked.
Well, that's obvious. You can't really go down from Everton, can you?
Tranmere.
I keep more of an eye on Tranmere than Everton scores this season. I was gutted early today when I saw Croydon beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it, though, when they beat Swindon on Monday.
I can't remember that game. I didn't watch it.
That's why I messaged you.
So, do you see Graham Potter getting back into football management straight away? Apparently, I saw a story that he was like...
Who's you linked with?
Well, I saw the story, and it made me chuckle because it just went... Apparently, he said, I'd be very interested in the Southampton job if they stayed in the Premier League. It's just like, you know what?
Right, okay.
I would be very, very interested in going on a date with Scarlett Johansson. It's not going to happen.
If she like lowered her levels a lot, and give me a chance, Like
I would like to hang out with Jenna Ortega, but that's not going to happen either.
So basically, he's being nice enough to Southampton say, "Oh yeah, I consider you if you've done the impossible and stayed in the Premier League."
If you were
if they got relegated, he'd be like, "Nah, sorry, that's
you're yesterday's news. Yeah, you're below my level now."
Like,
swipe left. Yes, that was one of the things I saw, which made me laugh. I actually thought he might get appointed Leicester City
It'd be
manager.
like going. It'd be like, you know what? Use your analogy there of swipe left. You literally go on Tinder, right? Seeing one picture of a girl with all the makeup on or whatever, and this is not why I think really. This is an analogy. Look at all the makeup, going, oh, she looks nice. And about to swipe, right? Yeah, I would. And then seeing a picture without makeup on the morning after and going, oh, okay.
No.
No thanks.
Yeah, that is pretty much Graham Potter's approach to Southampton.
Being completely serious, that's not how I think at all. That's a horrible way of thinking in real life.
It is. It's
just funny.
You've been. I'll tell you off here. You've been watching too much Andrew Tate on TikTok.
Oh no! Take that back right now.
Women are things, according to Andrew Tate.
Yeah, compared to me and I'll reach through screen and throttle you.
Quite frankly, I think you could kick his ass. I think he's a fake tough guy. He presents himself as a fake tough guy.
If I got a chance, I'd kill him. Like he's going like that. There, like not.
He's awful. He's an awful human being. Anyway, back to football. Because we had Brendan Rodgers show Leicester City showed not so great character towards Brendan.
No, they're fucking awful.
Yeah, he was out there with his boombox outside the house of Colo, whatever I said, I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good. And then he got the call from Leicester City, and they were like, Brendan, the thing is, you might want Colo Touré back for good, but we don't want you. Get lost.
Yeah,
I imagine that scenario played out, and that's Brendan done it at Leicester City. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. What do you think went wrong for Brendan at Leicester? Because he obviously won the FA Cup there.
I mean, Jamie Vardy got too old. Yeah. They got rid of the keeper, never replaced him. And they've just basically been pretty much awful. Surprising, for some reason.
I think they've spent a couple of years getting rid of their best players and then just not really replacing them.
I think the fact that they managed to keep hold of like Tielemans and Maddison,
who are both gone at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Tielemans is going on a free. I think he's just gone. But like, if they get relegated, which is a definite possibility, I hope they don't, because that would prove you right, and I don't want that to happen.
I think they would be relegated. Oh, it was
yeah, you did. But yeah, like saying about like Maddison will go definitely, but like they want someone to pay like 50, 60 million for him. He'll go for like 30 if they get relegated.
Yeah, because they'll
have to sell so many of their players.
Yeah. They just need, who they need? They need a project manager, somebody that could rebuild that team completely in the Championship.
Graham
Potter.
I
would say somebody like Graham Potter wouldn't be bad. Maybe even a Vincent Kompany, but obviously he wouldn't. Somebody like a Vincent Kompany, not Vincent Kompany, because he'll be staying at Burnley. But that would be a
Vieira.
Yeah, but would he go to the champion? I think Vieira's too good for the Championship. He's too good for the Championship. I see Vieira going to like Leeds.
I was just going to say, if Leeds stay up, I think he'd be perfect for them. Vieira.
Yeah, Vieira at Leeds or West Ham.
Oh, West Ham. Hey, if West Ham get relegated, right, or even if they don't, because we're talking about, obviously, when I was looking at transfers and that, and I was like, well, Declan Rice has surely got to go this summer, hasn't he? He stayed on too long. Like, are they still going to expect like 100 million for him? Surely not.
I guess so, but they shouldn't.
Why?
I don't think they should expect it.
If they get relegated, he can't be more than 50.
I don't think he can be more than 40 if they get relegated, considering the money he's on.
But even if the thing is, if they stay up, like they don't even just survive, and like they like what, 15th, 16th now. They've been awful. Like Dave Moyes could well be sacked after like they got into like they had a couple of really good seasons, and then he's been diabolical. And they're still gonna, even if they stay up, like, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, Vieira, I don't think Vieira would. For me, just suits Leeds. I can see him at Leeds, not West Ham.
Yeah, I could see him more at Leeds. He needs Leeds need a manager that can rebuild them, and the job that he did at Crystal Palace, I'm sure he'd be able to replicate it on a small budget. He'd be able to replicate that at Leeds, but
We've got good, exciting players at Leeds.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. Jesse Marsh, do you see him becoming maybe Leicester manager if they go down? Because
they already stopped. They were pursuing him, weren't they? And he
but he plays a completely contradictory style of football to how they play. So that was the thing that never quite made sense. But if they got relegated, then maybe that would make sense. Maybe Everton.
It depends if he would he go down for Championship?
I think he would for the right job. I think he would
for the right one. But then, which is the right job for him? Like,
because let's face it, he didn't really do well at Leipzig. He hasn't really done brilliantly at Leeds.
Thing is that the only reason he got the Leipzig job is because he was Salzburg manager,
and he did a hell of a
job
job
with Salzburg.
He
had a very good. He done really well with Salzburg. I mean, it's kind of hard not to do good with Salzburg in the bloody Swiss league.
Austrian Bundesliga.
Austrian. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Countries mixed up.
The Young Boys is Switzerland.
Yeah, and Basel. No.
Basel, Zurich.
Yeah.
Grasshopper.
Grasshoppers. Yeah. That, you know what? Whenever I say grasshoppers, I think of doing fucking karate pose. But yeah, so that's the only reason he got the Leipzig job, and he was well out of his depth because Leipzig is the Bundesliga is a level above the Austrian Bundesliga.
And
obviously, Premier League is a level above that. So, just quickly talking about the Bundesliga, that league, the title race is getting a bit saucy there, with Dortmund and Bayern both dropping points today. Union Berlin could be well back in a shout.
Yeah, it could be if they pick up a decent set of they need more than they need to beat Bochum, don't they, tomorrow, and hope that
that's not really hard, man.
Yeah, but they are several points behind at this point, so you wouldn't say it's likely.
Aren't they 6 points? 51, aren't they?
Yeah, they're on 51. They Bayern are on 59, so it's an 8-point gap.
Yeah, Dortmund on 57.
Yeah. So if they win, they'll reduce it, but we'll wait and see whether they can, because they'd be another Leicester City story. I'd love Union Berlin to win the Bundesliga. Anyway, so we've done Brendan Rodgers, we've done Graham Potter. Who do you see Dean Smith being a good appointment at Leicester City, or are they getting relegated?
It feels to me like that was remember when he got sacked from Villa and he got appointed as Norwich manager?
Yes, and he
got
couldn't get Norwich back into the Premier League.
It feels a bit like that to me. He doesn't seem like a very inspiring manager.
It wasn't a very inspiring choice.
Yeah, I saw that and I was thinking, you haven't really improved. Like, I'd say Dean Smith and Brendan Rodgers on the same level. Feels like it to me.
I'd say Brendan Rodgers slightly better.
We say Rodgers better. So that's gone down. They've gone down then.
Yeah, well, Brendan Rodgers won an FA Cup at least. What has Dean Smith won?
That's it, I know.
Exactly.
But maybe, you know what? Maybe they're thinking is he's managed Championship before. Maybe they resign themselves, thinking he'll stay with us in the Championship because he won't just leave us soon if he got relegated.
I hope Leicester didn't get relegated, because that proves me right when I said last season, 2 seasons ago, that they'd be relegated within 5 years.
Right.
You know what? I do love being right. I love being right.
Yeah. Don't I know it, because your smug ass loves to mention it every chance we get. So
exactly.
The fact that you've got all your smugness and all your bragging is out the way now. So if that actually happens, you can't mention it again.
Look at it. Look at the face. Look at the face.
Thing is,
so happy.
right? You know when we made that prediction.
Yes.
And you were like, oh yeah, I can see it. You know what I was doing?
I can see them getting relegated within 5 years.
I vehemently?
Yes,
I said to you, I don't see it happening.
Yes.
I said to you, I don't see it happening, but I wasn't vehemently like, oh my god, like how can you even think that? I'm not asked if you do. Right?
Your lack of vision is
hold it
disturbing.
over me like you've beaten me.
Your lack of vision is disturbing. Anyway, Everton and Loney Dele Alli is due to return to the UK on Saturday for a review of an injury he picked up whilst playing for Besiktas.
He's getting his intake of laughing gas before it gets banned.
Yes, I saw that. The Premier League, allegedly, the Premier League's club medical staff assesses... I mean, it isn't really, but I have to say that for legal reasons. I don't want to get sued by Dele Alli. He is not eligible to play for the Toffee.
Again, maybe he does.
Somebody can clip it. I don't know. I don't think he'll give a shit. He's too busy being injured and shit. It's quite sad to see like the fall of Dele Alli quite badly. It's just like he's now.
Why do you feel sorry for him? I don't feel sorry for him.
I kind of do, because he was kind of brilliant for like 2-3 years, and then it's just.
Okay, yeah, he was great, and he got a bit too full of himself. Thought he was the best thing since sliced bread, and then didn't try as much, and has basically been shit ever since.
Pretty much.
So I don't feel sorry for him. Why would I feel sorry for him?
His move to the Turkish Super League. You know what? I love the fact that Harry Redknapp recommended Frank Lampard signed Dele Alli, and it turned out to be one of the worst decisions, one of the worst transfers.
No, I think what's happened, the whole downfall of Dele Alli came from that Tottenham documentary.
Oh yeah, it was,
with Mourinho, because Mourinho did not. Yeah, Mourinho didn't like him because Dele Alli at that point started becoming lazy in training, not being arsed at all, and he called him out, and he basically forevermore destroyed Dele Alli's self-image and self-confidence, and it's basically downhill today. Never played him. Eventually, gets moved out to Everton. I mean, how much did he pay for him?
Can't remember, but
I can't remember myself. But they actually paid money for him. Like they actually paid money for him. Like what? And they actually paid money. Like I wouldn't even pay a quid. They paid money. They paid millions. But then he was shit for them. Always injured. He moved on loan.
40 million.
40 million. 40.
Sorry. It was an initial free transfer, which could rise to 40 million if certain performance benchmarks were met. They were not. 10 million were due to after his first 20 Everton appearances. How many appearances for Everton has he made? He's made 13.
8. 13. So
they literally haven't had to pay anything. Because he hasn't played.
Oh, he hasn't paid anything.
They needed to play 20.
Right. Well, I don't think that's not going to happen. Okay, so they've actually not paid anything for him. Right. That's fine then. Because I was going to say if they've ended up paying 40 million, that's more than Liverpool paid for Mane and Salah when we got them. So literally, like, where's wasting money? I mean, he's a waste of space. He's absolutely a waste of space. Like, if you feel sorry for him, then you're an idiot because he's done it to himself. He's a big crybaby. And it's a perfect example of a player who's been hyped up at a young age because he moved from. Who was he playing for? Was it League Two? Was he playing in? Was it
MK Dons?
MK Dons at like 17, and I mean when they battered Man United 4-0, like the FA Cup.
And he was primarily
and he was really good
of that
game. And he was really good, right? Because he was like 17, and he moved to Tottenham. We were actually linked with him. That was good when we didn't get him. Because we were linked to him as well. And he went to Tottenham, and he's really good for them. And he did a few years. Tottenham at the start was really good.
I think he got hyped up too early at Liverpool.
He got hyped up too early, and Mourinho came in, and basically Mourinho gives no fucks about who you are. If you don't get on with him, he will like kill you, like mentally. And that's what's happened. And it's screwed his career over. And basically, he's not give a fuck since. Like, he's had opportunities where he could have turned his career around and applied himself, but he's gone on loan from Everton. He's not even good enough to play for Everton. Goes out on loan to Besiktas. And like, Besiktas are an okay team, but it's the Turkish league, like not even great league. And he can't even play for them. And then he's got injured somehow, and then he's been sent back to Everton to recover. and instead of actually getting his recovery done properly, he's getting pitched doing laughing gas in a flat in Manchester. Worst little scumbag in the world. Well, not the worst. There's people worse than him. He hasn't raped anyone or killed anyone? Not that I know of.
He definitely has not. He definitely has not.
He's a rat. He's a rat basically because he's basically he's had the opportunities. It's a prime example of, and I've already said this, but when you get too much fame and money at a young age, because he's made a big Premier League move at like 17, 18 years old, and he's been in the big books, and he hasn't had that control. So his ego has been overinflated, and then it's been burst by Mourinho, and it's never recovered since.
Well,
so, yeah.
Well, there's your character assassination of Dele Alli. If
I don't mean to. I don't mean to.
You just
I don't
calling
really
it as you see it.
I just call it as I see it. Yeah, I don't have an opinion one way or another. But he's not helped himself, so I don't have any sympathy for him.
Steve Cooper, moving on, will remain as Nottingham Forest manager, but results and performances must improve immediately. The club sit above the relegation zone on goal difference at the moment, despite signing what feels like 500 players during both the summer and January windows. Yeah, pretty much, and and it's still not enough to keep them in the Premier League potentially. But to be fair, I think I said it when they got promoted. They were lucky to get promoted. Steve Cooper did a heck of a job, and I'd be very surprised if they stayed up. And you know what? Even though they've spent all that money, I'd still be surprised if they stayed up, because it is just they're just.
Do you think it's between? Let me just think. Hang on. So Southampton are 20th. Who's 19th? It's Leicester.
Leicester.
Yeah, and then it's
Southampton,
Nottingham
Leicester,
Forest.
Nottingham Forest, then Everton, Leeds, and Everton are currently outside of the league.
So it's between. I think so. Southampton's definitely down.
Yeah.
I think Leicester. I think Leicester's going to go
down. Yeah.
And so then it's between Everton, Forest. Leeds, and Forest.
Yeah, and potentially West Ham.
And then 3.
They're on 30.
Yeah, West Ham as well. So out of them teams, who do we think's most likely?
Forest or Everton?
Yeah, kind of the same.
Although
results can be weird though, because we say, West Ham and Leeds, we think are more confident to stay up.
Well, let's have a look at Nottingham Forest's fixtures. They've got Manchester United tomorrow. Probably not going to win that. They've got you guys, so probably not going to win that. Liverpool, Nottingham Forest. Then they've got Brighton, not going to win that. Then they've got Brentford, probably not going to win that. Then they've got Southampton, might win that. Then they've got Chelsea, might win that one. Then they've got Arsenal, definitely not winning that one. And then on the final day, they've got Crystal Palace, definitely not winning that one.
Definitely not win against Crystal Palace.
No. If Crystal Palace have secured whatever... Actually, no, they might do. Crystal Palace might have an off day, but I'd expect Palace to beat Nottingham Forest. Let's have a look at Everton's remaining fixtures. They have got Crystal Palace. They won't win that unless they play really defensive. They might get a draw from that. Then they've got Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle have wobbled a bit recently. Leicester City.
They've been really good till today.
Yeah. Leicester City, that'll be the crucial one on the 1st of May. That'll be the big one.
That's going to be a crucial one.
And then they're closing... That could be the way, that. Yeah. Brighton, Everton, then Man City.
Man City.
Then Wolves. And then Bournemouth on the final day.
But Bournemouth have been all right recently as well.
Yeah, they've really improved. They've pretty much... I mean, they're 6 points above the relegation zone now, so they're pretty much on course to survive, despite you'd argue not having a proper manager.
Many of us thought they were going to go down.
Yeah, when they appointed Gary O'Neill permanently, I thought that was a major mistake. Leeds United, though, let's have a look at their running. They've got Liverpool tomorrow.
Bulls? Yeah,
Fulham.
No, it's Monday.
Oh, sorry, Liverpool Monday.
Yeah.
Fulham.
Leicester.
Tough. That'll be a big one
That's a
against
close
Leicester. Bournemouth, that'll be a tough one. Then City,
tough one.
They're not winning that one. Then Newcastle, probably not winning that one. Then,
Both, yeah.
Then West Ham away. That's a tough one. And then Tottenham on the final day at home.
That could go either way.
I think Leeds probably have the more difficult of the closing. Let's have a look at West Ham's.
Well, I look at them when I'm thinking back on them. More of those matches for Leeds, I was going that they could get something than Everton and Forest.
Well, let's have a look at West Ham's fixes, and to throw a spanner in the works for West Ham, they've also got the Europa Conference League quarterfinals.
Yeah, depends what they want to do for that.
Which, to be honest, I'd argue West Ham should go on and win that, because at least even if they'd be relegated, they'd still be in the Europa League. They'd be in the Europa League. They get that additional income next season.
Yeah, they should win that. They should have won last season, and they bottled it.
Remember when Birmingham City were relegated from the Premier League, but because they'd won the League Cup that season, they're in the UEFA Cup in the Championship. They qualified for the Europa League whilst they were playing in the Championship, as did Wigan Athletic as well, because they won the FA Cup when they were relegated. West Ham, Arsenal tomorrow. Then they've got Bournemouth. Throw in the fact that they've got a Thursday night game against Ghent at home, but before the Bournemouth game. So they've got Arsenal, Ghent, Bournemouth away. That's a tough game. Then they've got you guys at home. Then it's a London derby against Palace at Selhurst Park. Then City away. Then United at home. Then Brentford away. Leeds at home. Leicester away on the final day.
Leicester away, that's going to be a big one.
I think their last two games are massive. The last 2 games of the season for West Ham are massive, massive games.
Yeah.
So, who do you reckon? Forest, Everton, Leeds, West Ham? Could Bournemouth be dragged back into it, or do you think Bournemouth are pretty safe now?
I think any one of them could be dragged into it. It all depends on results. It's hard to call so many of these because sometimes look at form between 2 teams like close together and you think, oh, they're on the up and the other one's a bit down, but then you get a shock result any week. That's what's so good about this Premier League. Get shock results all the time. Anyone can beat anyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're saying like, oh, West Ham, Arsenal tomorrow, you think, oh, definitely Arsenal, but West Ham could do anything. It depends on which one turns up.
I would view Arsenal as probably going to win that, but we'll wait and see if
Everton beat Arsenal. Sean Dyche's first match in charge, they beat Arsenal. Anything happen? I'm gonna say Forest.
It's a tough. Yeah.
I'd say Forest. Yeah.
Is that because you secretly want Everton to stay up?
Partially. Well, it's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one. I think it's between them 2. I haven't seen Forest now. You could say the part of me that is choosing. You could say the part of me that's choosing Forest.
Oh, my phone going off. No, let's not have that go off. Sorry, my phone going off there. Yeah. Yeah, so unprofessional. Should have had it on silent. Moving on. So we've had the referee scandal. Referees attacking players. Referees elbowing players in the head, in the face. Unacceptable. But in Liga MX, they knee their players in the groin. That's what the referees do. In Lucha Libre style as well. That's what Liga MX, if you ever watch Mexican professional football, they mix it in with a little bit of violence, a little bit of knees to the groin. Wonderful referee.
So like full Lucha Libre, they put the mask on first, and then knee them in the balls.
Absolutely. That is exactly what they do. And I'm trying to get the video here because I think I've got the video for this, and I'm going to try right now and share my screen with you to get your actual reaction to this. Can you see that? It's got a stupid.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
So here we go. The quality's not great. There we go. So it's a goal. So it's a goal.
So the players go.
And they're
So I
celebrating.
players are rating.
Goal. Blah 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 blah.
Players surround.
Here we go. Here's the referee.
Keeper.
They're all surrounding him. They're all putting pressure
pushing
on the
people
referee.
around, pushing people around, pushing people around. And he's in his face.
Yellow
Ding,
card.
and then yellow card, yellow card, yellow card. Okay, not happening.
Oh, there we go. So a player's gone down there, but
you don't
here
see
it is. Here it is. He's actually done that. He's actually just gone
the
for
player
it.
is like in his face.
Yeah, but he's deliberately need him in the.
No way.
No,
he's actually got ahead and need him in the balls. Like that, I'm sorry.
He's actually.
As funny as that is, that ref should be sacked.
He's just sent off the. Yeah, he's sending people off.
You know what? That is so funny because he's not even felt sorry for himself. He's gone, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start sending everyone off.
I'm going to start sending everyone off.
That is like.
I'm going to start sending everybody off. Can we try and get a replay of that, please? That'd be great.
He needs second. So bad.
We need to get
looking back at old cam
from a stupid advert for Google. I don't want a Google Pixel. But yeah, no, it was a. We'll try and get a replay of that. But yeah, that was a deliberate knee to the groin.
I mean, the player is literally pushed himself up against his chest, right, and he's like in his face, like that. All that referee needs to do there is not even like dead large. Say to him, get off me now, and I will send you off, or just send him off.
Here we
go.
Do
not need to send. Look, he's in his face, and I mean, look,
here
see
it
this
is.
now.
Here it
he's
is.
in his face.
Boom. Yeah, but he's gone for a deliberate.
I mean, look at the referee's face.
He's gone. His face goes.
Yeah, he pierces his lips. He pierces his lips together. Like he puts everything. He's
clearly gone.
He's like,
that referee should be
banned.
banned.
His lips, like grist his teeth, and he's gone bang. He's like, I'm gonna hurt this guy. I'm gonna hurt this player. Like he should be absolutely like that is intentional. That's no way. If he comes out and he says, "Oh, I feel really bad about it" and all that, no, that's intentional. That is like that's assault. He should be arrested for that.
Let's watch it one more time. As the referee goes to knee the player in the.
He's like, I'm not having this. Fuck off.
Oh wow. And I thought our referees were bad. My goodness.
Yeah, I mean that's like no offense to Mexican people, but like
the player had his hands round his back as well. He couldn't defend himself.
Yeah. I mean that's bad. Like if I was honestly right, and I'm no way, I'm not even taking the piss here. If I was the manager, I would have. If I saw that, and one of my players,
so hang on,
referee, I would have ran over that referee and decked him in the face.
Yeah, no, yeah,
I wouldn't even care for
well, no, they all saw it. They all saw it.
Yeah.
Hang on.
But
look at their reaction. Look at the players react.
Bang.
Bang. They didn't see it because they're not.
But that guy is number 7 there, so if he saw it.
Yeah.
But look at them two arguing. Why are they arguing, the managers?
Well, he's got his shirt ripped for some reason.
Like you're fine. That's
watch
not
this.
That's
look, there you go. Yeah, tear. He's teared. Somebody's teared his. He's teared his shirt or something.
But who's he saying not? Who's the referee?
He's the managers. He should send himself off for that. Disgraceful. Disgraceful.
He should sack himself now.
Yeah.
Like he should.
Absolutely disgraceful.
Like, honestly, like no.
Absolutely disgraceful refereeing.
If that happened over here, with VAR and all that catching everything, like you would have.
If you were a manager.
Pandemonium.
If you were a manager and saw that on VAR, you'd be decking that referee. You'd go up to the referee and you'd deck him.
Yeah, I'd have him on the floor and I'd be like,
you'd absolutely deck him.
Yeah,
absolutely disgraceful.
So not on.
No,
that's so not on.
Or would you get the Jurgen Klopp approach of I can't say anything, I don't want to get fined, or the Jose Mourinho approach of so tired of being fined that you're not going to say say what I want. Yeah, the referee's a tit.
I have nothing to say.
I think if the referee come into the dressing room.
No, I'd go full on Charlie Austin.
Yeah,
Remember that
Park
interview in
life.
Southampton?
Park life.
Yeah, that video, right? I'd go full on Charlie Austin. I'd be like, fuck that cunt. I'm going to find him in his house with his wife, and I'm going to beat him in front of his wife.
What you know? What I'll share that video. I'll send that video to you, and then you can share it to people. You think our refereeing's bad? Have a look at this, full on freaking. By the way, I hear that referee's been signed by AAA Wrestling in America, in Mexico. He's going to defend.
Triple H saw him and went, hey.
Yeah, Triple H saw him. Yeah, he's just been signed to Mexican Professional Wrestling. His name is Refereo.
El Refo.
El Bolica. And his no. His signature move is the Diabolico.
Well, and basically, I was going to say it's like a knee drop onto the balls, top rope, like jumps, full on knee, bang to the balls.
He calls it the Diabolic. Oh, yeah, there you go. You came up with the move. I'll come up with the name. You come up with the moves.
Well, I was going to say like the people's knee drop onto his balls. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is Mexico, remember? So it'd be El Bolico.
El Bolico. Oh God, the ideas we come up with.
Oh, I love that.
I'll say that referee's a bad man. He's a bad
yeah, that referee needs to be banned for life. In all seriousness, same with the referee that elbowed Andrew Robertson.
He's not even a ref. He's an assistant.
The assistant needs to be banned for life as well. I didn't actually see it. Did he just runs into him?
I don't think he needs to be banned for life. I just think he needs more than what's happened currently. His decision was nothing. And and what I've seen people getting pissed off about is consistency in terms of decisions, because the when Mitrovic pushed the ref, right? It was not even he didn't attack him. He pushed him, right? And it's all people call it was an 8-game ban, wasn't he? He's on. People call him for much serious because you can't touch referees, can't touch referees. But if it's the other way round, it's the other way round, and a referee, like linesman, no matter what Robertson's done, because people say, because I saw Graham Souness, and you know what, people call saying Graham Souness a massive Liverpool apologist. He's a dickhead, right? Because he's saying like, doesn't matter what the referee's done, Andy Robertson shouldn't be touching the referee and all that, and he's made a big. And Roy Keane on national TV during half time, calling Robertson a big baby. Yes. Get the fuck out of here, Roy Keane, you prick. Like, how immature and unprofessional are you? Calling the player a big baby. Excuse me, you're the biggest baby in the world. But that, you know what, Robertson, all he's done, and you could say, he's Liverpool bias, whatever, but you can say all he's done, if anything, is he's tried to talk to linesman. Like, the linesman has ignored him. He just walked past him. So Robertson's gone, hang on a sec. And he's gone up to him, grabbed his arm to get his attention. How in any way does that instigate, in real life or in football, a reaction of, I'm going to fling my elbow backwards towards the face, and he catches him? Now, Robertson could have fell down. He could have fell over then. He could have gone down, holding his face, rolling over, like Harry Kane did. He could have done that, and it would have been made much serious. But because he didn't do that, referees got away with it. Because you see all these...
There's a police officer right next to him.
Protecting each other, going, I know this referee's a nice guy. He didn't mean it. He feels sorry about it. And they do not... And it's all corrupt, and they protect their own, and it's bullshit.
He knew what he was doing, that linesman.
He knew what he was doing, and and all his referee mates, and Howard Webb have gone, don't say nothing, we'll protect you, we'll sort it out, and nothing happens. I'm sorry, it's bullshit at the highest order. Inconsistency. If a player gets an 8-match ban pushing a referee, then how come a referee and assistant has nothing happen when they elbow a player? Because what's that doing? That just all happens in the future is that you'll have a referee push too far and go a step further, and nothing will happen still. It's absolute bullshit. Like, no one's asking for. I'm not asking for that guy to be sacked. I'm not asking to be sacked. But he deserves a ban for attacking a player.
Yeah.
He deserves a minimum of 3, 4, 5 match ban. Take him out for a month or so, and then go, right, that's your punishment. Come back in now.
Oh no, I view it slightly differently than you. I view it as
Well,
complete unprofessional. No.
If you're gonna be, if people are gonna be outraged about players doing it to referees, then it's got to be from both sides.
It's got to be consistent.
It's
Yeah,
got to
absolutely.
be.
I think we agree
But there's
on
no
that point.
consistency because referees protect each other.
The difference I see is that is completely unprofessional behaviour. It wasn't a provoked attack. Andrew, Robertson isn't going to attack the player. The call on him being called a baby is unacceptable.
Roy Keane should be ashamed of himself for that.
Yeah, he should be. That was a bad take.
Because people, you're paid a lot of money to give your footballing opinions, not your personal opinions, because all he does is for clicks and act this personality. I'm a big hard man for clicks and likes, because people like that personality.
Let's face it, if the linesman had done it to Roy Keane would have punched him.
Yeah,
because that's how Roy Keane was. He'd have given him a receipt for that. Because look at Haaland's dad.
Roy Keane calls,
he gave him a
Roy
receipt.
Keane can't accept when another player doesn't even if Robertson had gone down, because Robertson's not the guy to mess around and fake things and that. But if he had gone down holding his face, even at that point, calling him a baby wouldn't have been acceptable. No. But the fact that he hasn't done that is the reason why the referee hasn't had a punishment. Because he hasn't gone down. Like, if it was Harry Kane or another English player, he would have gone down holding the face. Because Andy Robertson is Scottish and he has something about him, bit of bollocks,
Mm.
And he can give it. He can give it as well as take it. But a referee or an assistant or a fourth official, whatever, anyone doing that, put an elbow. If there's a player doing that to a referee or a player doing that to another player, you'd never hear the end of it. Because the instigator is a referee official, he has all kinds of protection. It's all backhanded. Don't worry, mate, we'll protect you. Nothing will happen, and people forget about it. Fickle nature of football fans, very short memory.
I would ban that assistant for life. You've assaulted a player on the pitch. It's unacceptable. I would ban him for life. Same with the Mexican referee that need that player in the bollocks. That's a
he should be like. The thing is, the angle of the camera, you can see that Mexican referee meant to do that.
Yeah,
he's obviously got pissed off. I'm not saying he's just decided to do it or he's been premeditated, but obviously this player's got up in his face, right? And anyone who gets up in my face, I'm like, yeah, back off now. That pisses me off. And I can imagine that referee probably got pissed off a bit, but you're meant to be the official.
Yeah,
you're meant to be calm and composed and professional and do your job. You're not meant to. Unfortunately, and as much, he can't let it get to him. Referees can't let it get to them. So even if Robertson has been going at that official, every 5 minutes or whatever, give him. It's just words. Let it go over you. But the fact that Robertson's then gone up to him, he might have pulled his arm back a little bit to try and get his attention because the official has ignored him when he tried to speak to him, which is rude. And the referee and the official's gone. All right, yeah, you could say, oh, he's been pissed off, but he's then turned around. Not even turned around. In the post turn around, he literally not even pointed his elbow, not even done a shrugging thing with his shoulder. He has literally pointed his elbow up and he has swung. That's
but I think the linesman sees what his intention is to do that, so that's why I think he should be banned for life.
He's not clocked him. He's not proper hit him, but he has touched. His chin.
Yeah.
But it's not if someone grabs your arm and you try and shrug.
You might just do
you do that. You do that. You go forward.
But you go forward. You don't go backwards.
You don't direct your elbow and go like that, do you? You try to shrug your shoulder, you shrug your arm. You shrug your arm a bit, try and get them pull off you. You pull forward, you don't do that. You don't do that, do you?
No.
Directly aiming towards a player's face.
Yeah, exactly. You don't do that, but
but even still, I was never calling for that. Maybe at first I was thinking, because I didn't even catch most of them, to be honest. When I saw it, I was thinking, what in God's name's gone on? I was just like, I've never seen that before ever. But even after looking at people speaking about it, I was just thinking, I'm not even asking him to be sacked permanently, but if a player can get an 8-game ban for pushing a referee, not attacking him or shoving him to the floor or anything, or like even like judo throwing him over his shoulder, just a shove.
I really want to see
chest.
that. I really want to see like full-on professional wrestling. Just like Vince McMahon walking out at half-time. Hello here. Hello everybody. I've got a note. I've got a clause in my contract that says I'm not allowed to have sex with women in the office anymore. Oh wait, that actually happened. English football.
Imagine if he went up. Imagine if he was there and he went to Brendan Rodgers.
He's worse than John Terry.
You're fired.
Fired.
I mean, to be fair, Vince is looking a bit rough these days, isn't he?
Remember when he was linked with buying Newcastle United? That was excellent. That was like 2 weeks of just the Rock turning up at Newcastle and going, "Can you smell what Newcastle is cooking?" And then Steve Austin just comes on and just
remember that video I sent you?
Stuns the ref. Yes.
Remember that video I sent? Yeah, it was a Coventry, something through a window, and it cuts the Stone Cold sort of thing.
Yes.
I need that video. Oh, where is it? It's on Messenger.
Great. I'll watch it in a bit. English football.
I saw that and I was thinking, I need to send that. It was just perfect.
It's really good. It really was, to be fair. English football's 3 p.m. blackout is under further pressure after broadcasters indicated a willingness to discuss scrapping the ban on televised games on Saturday afternoons. Quickly, your opinion of the 3 p.m. blackout? I mean, it doesn't really exist in the EFL anymore with iFollow because I watch Swindon Town most weeks, 3 p.m. kickoffs. I'm thoroughly depressed by them. It's the worst investment I've ever made. But a 3 p.m. blackout doesn't really exist now.
But you have the options to watch the match, though, don't you?
Yes. Even though it's behind the paywall. It's stuck behind a paywall, but,
But the option's there.
If you're willing to pay it, then the 3 p.m. blackout doesn't really exist anymore.
You should be allowed to have that option. If you're willing to pay for it, you should be allowed to watch any match you want to.
Should broadcasters be allowed to buy the 3 p.m. matches and show them live? I think they should. I think the 3 p.m. blackout is archaic.
Because then you could if you were able to watch every match for your team, then you could understand paying for your Sky and your BT and all that, because you have to pay for all sorts. You can't even watch every match for your team.
Well, the argument is if you get rid of the 3 p.m. The reason that it was bought in is because they thought television would kill football attendances, and that was bought in back in the 50s. So, would removing it kill the attendances?
Plenty of people still go. Watching football is different from going to a stadium.
Yeah.
Going to a stadium to watch a match is an experience in itself. You cannot replicate that. So you'll still have your lifelong fans. And when I steward, you still have loads of people who I speak to, fans go in turnstiles, loads of them say, first time here. Just all getting the opportunity to come over, people from all around the world. It's an opportunity, it's a once a lifetime experience to go to your football stadium, watch a match.
I think you can replicate it at home. All you need is some cheap plastic seating, overpriced food and drinks, and then some knobhead behind you swearing all the time, and some guy that's really tall sat in front of you, and then you've got the full match day experience.
Well, depends on the on your seating, where you're sitting in the stadium. Yeah, but honestly, when this is my experience with Anfield, right? You would get the same with other stadiums as well. And I don't know if it's just Premier League or maybe Leagues below as well, but when your team's playing and they're doing well, the team scores, the atmosphere and the sound. Like when we beat Man United 7-0, I didn't even see the goals. I was inside at the concourse in the main stand, the big one, and just the sound of people jumping up and down and cheering. You can't replicate that anywhere.
No,
because I was more in awe of that of the atmosphere of your team scoring and beating your hated enemies. Like, there's no beating that. Like, for me at home, I have to sit and be quiet because I watch it with my dad downstairs. And you know what you know what I can get. Like, I get angry and I shout a lot at the TV. No matter what's happening. My dad, I mean, I say to him, "You don't really care, do you?" Because he just wants to sit in silence.
Yeah, but
he just wants to sit and watch the match. And he says, "Oh, I'm trying to enjoy it." I'm like, and we're playing shit. And I go, "How can you enjoy this?" And
it's two different ways of watching the game, because he just wants to. Does he analyze the game more than you?
No, he
Maybe
doesn't.
he's more
Talk
casual.
about like, oh, look at. He's just very, very casual. I am like a full on every day on Twitter. I'm looking through all Liverpool stuff.
See,
I'm full on.
That's too much. Would you not agree?
Yeah, it is.
That's just killing it.
Because it's gotten to a point where if Liverpool, when Liverpool shit, right? Especially if we play like Arsenal on Saturday, it ruins my mood completely, and I hate that it makes I get so pissed off when they play shit, and so much of my mood and happiness is based on it, and it should never be like that because the football is just a sport, but you become so invested in it. You become so invested and tribal. It's very much tribalism. You become so invested into it that if your team aren't doing well, you find it hard to not get angry.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it can ruin your weekend.
So, well, that's it. So, that's it. So when I'm at home,
the next time they play. So yeah, I know what you mean.
When I'm at home recently, and I watch the match with them, most times it ends up bloody arguing because he wants to sit and watch it, and I get angry and I can't stay quiet. Like if our players misplace a pass, I'm going, "Oh, for fuck's sake, what's that?" And shit like that. Or if we shoot and we miss, and I go, "Jesus Christ, fucking can't shoot, dickhead." And my dad just wants to sit and watch. Now I don't know what he's thinking of. He might be analysing his head, but he never speaks about it with me. So he's just a very, very different kind of supporter than I am. Very, very casual. It's me who sort of tells him what's going on with the club and that mostly. Like I tell him to line up and things like that. Yeah, so it's I don't really talk about it that much. But so when I do home matches in the stadium, with the student, it's very much different because I mean, to be fair, where you stand, you do hear people effing and blinding.
Yeah, of course you do.
Because you're right there, you see it in front of you.
Yeah.
But it's because the thing is, most fans, especially the ones who are like season ticket holders, they're there and they go in and that's it. They'll get a drink and they'll go sit down. Whereas a lot of people who are, if it's like their first time, like they come from abroad, especially, they'll go to like the club. They'll go to the club store. They'll go to the club store.
They'll go for the match
day
experience.
Some stuff.
Yeah.
They'll go to the match day experience. They'll do all that. They'll go for something to eat either before or after the match. It's a full day experience for them. So that's it. So it's different. That's it because they want to experience the whole thing, don't they? They save up loads of money, come from anywhere. Like I spoke to bloody Japanese people, loads of Americans, loads of Irish. I spoke to like loads of Eastern Europeans as well. Yeah, so it's very good for meeting new people.
And people from around the world.
Well, that's it. I've spoke to like little groups of sort of middle-aged Indian men. I spoke to, I'm sure it's like a young. I not sound racist, but to me they look Japanese, but they could have been Korean or
Asian,
anything like that.
Football fans.
Yeah, so Far East Asian. Yeah, but it's like a young couple, and they were asking me directions,
excellent.
things like that. But they were all really nice. But yeah, so I don't think you can replicate that.
No,
I don't, because even if you were doing like, if you do like a headset, like a virtual reality headset, and you were at the match, I still don't think you could replicate
the way it goes.
I think that's the way eventually it will go.
The future. It'll be played in the metaverse.
Yeah. So I just don't think...
Or EA Sports FC will get played in the metaverse, and that's how you watch all your mates get
But
battered.
that's it. Like so you'd go there and you'd sit in your seat and you'd. Because the thing is, there's that many fans. I think you'd still have loads of fans going to the stadium, because all the fans who are there now, you go, okay, we're going to give all you the VR experience, right? And a lot of them go, yeah, or some of them won't. And then those seats that get freed up in the stadium physically, next people come in. There'd always be a demand for seats in the stadium. That's the way I think it'll always be. You'll always have people wanting to go to the match physically.
And that was this week's edition of the Football Fan Show podcast. Thank you very much for joining myself, Danny, and Callum. We are back hopefully next week on twitch.tv/The Football Fan Show, where you can watch our live streams and you can check out our YouTube channel as well. We have got my favourite video that I've ever made. The time of university in the UK nearly had a professional football team, and it's the story of Bath University, or the University of Bath as I should correctly call them. It is a fascinating story of a university nearly having a pro football team. It's brilliant. Go check it out on our YouTube channel. Links somewhere, you'll find them. Anyway, that is it for now, and that is it for us from this week. See you next week. Have a great rest of the week. Bye.